Hi, guest house managers. This is Liva and Selvam, and we're quickly going to show you around the temporary little system that has been created on the avguestportal.org website to help us out, because the GST has given us some problems because it started already at the 1st of July, while our new system isn't ready for a few months yet. So we created a small little system to do the billing and to give Saravanan and the guest house trust the information we need to be able to comply with the GST rules. So you go to the avguestportal.org website and you fill out your username that you've been given in an email, and you fill out your password, and you fill out the CAPTCHA. The CAPTCHA is a security to make sure that computers and bots can't just log into this. You have to simply copy whatever is written below the field. It can be in different colors or it can be in different in different style letters. It doesn't matter much. If for some reason you have difficulty reading what is written there, just click on the two arrows and you will see that the CAPTCHA will change into something else, which you then can choose or not choose. You can click it as many times as you want, as long as in the end you write in the field whatever you see written below. It doesn't matter whether you write in capitals or in small letters. That's not important. It's not a capital sensitive thing. But just be sure that you correctly type the letters in the same order as they're there. Okay, then you click login, or you just hit your enter button and you get to the dashboard of the little system. On top of that, you will see the name of your guest house written. So make sure then you know that you're logged in the right guest house. On the left side in the menu, you have two main categories: income and expenses. They're quite clearly for income and expenses, I think. So, okay, we click on income. In the income, you have room bill and food bill. Clicking on income won't do anything, so don't click on income. You have room bill and food bill. The food bill is meant for that one guest house. I think it's only Oromodo, so I don't know, maybe there are some others who give food to people that are not staying in their guest house. So these people want to have a bill without any room attached to it because there's no room that they have stayed in. So we won't go into that because these one or two guest houses that use that should have figured it out by themselves by now how to do that. So everybody else will go to room bill and just click there to see an overview of which bills have already been made. The bills are sorted on the billing date from the most recent to the oldest, as you can see. We will add some sorting on name too. There were sorting options before, but we took them away because they messed up some things. But you can select a month to make sure that you have only this or that month in front of you. You can sort, so you can see these are all the bills that I have for which month and the totals below it. Now, if you want to create a new room bill, you click on create a new room bill. Surprise, surprise. You get to the screen where you have to fill out the details of the room bill so it can be created. So we start with the bill date. The billing date can be about anything that you want. By default, it will give you the date of today, but it doesn't matter much. You can do with that bill date whatever you want. The important thing of the bill date is that all the bills in a particular month should be exactly matching the income in your collection accounts of that particular month. I don't know if I make myself clear. You just have to make sure that you create bills with bill dates that are also the bills that you put that month into the collection account. So the day of the month doesn't matter much as long as the month corresponds to the month you put the money in the collection account in. So you can put, if you have a bill date of 10th of August, you need to make sure that the money for that bill is somehow in the collection account before the 31st or on the 31st of August. Okay, customer GST number. This is only for guests that have some kind of company or something and want this bill to be used as their GST deduction bill, so as an expense for their company. So they will give you their number. You can't know that number, of course. So they will give you that number if ever they need a bill which mentions their GST number. So you make sure it's only for the guests that ask particularly to have their number, their GST number on the bill. So in 99% of the cases, that field will just be empty. There will be nothing. After that comes the guest name, which is very clearly the name of the guest. So you write the name of the guest, whether it's one name, two names, whatever. You just write something, and then the guest has a name. Then you fill out a room rate. Now, if you have a room rate that is without GST, you just fill out a room rate, and we will continue with that a little bit further. Now, most guest houses in Arrowville are still using prices that are rounded, that are full prices, completely including everything. So let's say you have a room that is 2,500 rupees. You have told the guest it's 2,500 rupees. Then most guest houses say to the guest, that's 2,500 rupees, including everything, including the GST. So of course, this GST bill, which is being created, needs to start from a room rent without GST, because it's something that is added on top of something. So we need to figure out, if you have a room of 2,500, on the left side there's a net room rate calculator. So you just type your 2,500 and you can see that the system will recalculate for you that that's a total of a net room rate that started with 2,232.14 rupees. So you can click add to room rate, and that figure will immediately be transferred over there in your room rate. You then put the arrival date and the departure date, whatever it is. Whoops. Just put whatever it is, when the guest arrived, when the guest left or will leave, and then the system will calculate everything else, and you don't need to do anything anymore. It's all calculated. Then you click save to make sure that whatever you filled out is being saved. It's a remnant of how the system was before. It's not the way I would do it if we had to do it all again, but for now it's too late and too much work to change that. So you can see the line that you just filled out comes lower, and you can see that you can update it or delete it. So you can inline, you can change, if ever you need to change that rate, you could do that. Imagine that you made a mistake in the dates and it's not 1 but 2 nights that they stayed. Oops, you can click there, then you click update, and now the system will recalculate whatever it was that happened then. So you will see now you have that same bill for 2 nights instead of 1. Now, if you have another room, your guest has rented 2 rooms in the same period, more or less. Let's say you have another room of 3,000 rupees a night. We will recalculate that. So you just click add to room rate. It appears there. You adjust the arrival and departure dates. Everything gets calculated again, and you click again save to make sure that this line is not lost later on. So now you have you have your 2 rooms that the guest has rented. It's all in one bill. You can change, update, or you can delete if you make a mistake and the whole thing needs to go out. In fact, just confirm that you really want to delete, and it's gone. If you have food income that is not part of your room rate, so if it's not, it's something extra, it's not something that's included in the information that you've already entered in the system, you will have to write it there, because it is charged at a different rate. So say that you have breakfast that is not included, that you calculate on top, or you figure that you take it out of the full room rent that it is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You just see whatever you do. You just write the number of breakfasts that that person took while he was staying there. You put a rate, and the amount will come automatically. And as you can see below, the food subtotal will be there, the GST will be there, and the grand food total will be there. Now, if you have to recalculate that amount, because again, it's something that was included and you gave us a total or so, you just have to do that manually. You will have to divide your amount by 1.12 and fill out the rate like that, and then we will make sure that the grand food total will give exactly the total that you had in mind, a rounded off number. Now, of course, if you have GST not included in the rate that you had given to your guest, you can just let it be like this. The system will calculate a 12% on top, and you will have your grand total, which whatever it is. The same goes for sundries. Everything else that you charge extra to your guests will have to come in here. So imagine you have a cycle for rent, and it costs extremely a lot, 500 rupees for God knows what, well, maybe for a month or so. Then the tax will be calculated and added. So this, of course, is the same thing. If you need to recalculate, you have to divide by 1.18 and put in that number, and then the total should be the total you wanted to start out with. If you have other things, let's say you charge extra for laundry, you can just click more, there will be a new line coming, and you can just fill it out simply. That's the way it is. You will have to do this for everything that you charge. All your income that you get from the guests should be mentioned in this bill. So the delete button, of course, you can delete these things, and if the first thing is wrong, you just empty the fields and it will be gone. You can also change, of course, as long as it's in line, you can change and the system will recalculate. Now, then the discount. We don't know yet for sure how the discount will be treated in the GST system. The first information we got was that discounts don't matter. You will have to pay the full amount of tax even if you give a discount. Now, this sounds extremely unfair, and we heard later, but it is not written. It's not confirmed in writing that we would pay only over the discounted amount, but at the rate of the original price. Now, once we have full confirmation of that, we will adapt the system, and I will certainly inform everybody and write to everybody that goes like this and that like that. But at the moment, we still don't have any written confirmation, so we can't do it. The advance amount, you can fill out whatever advance you have received so that the bill only gives the resulting balance amount. You click Save Bill, and you will be redirected to the overview screen where you can see your new bill on top of it. These bills, as I said before, I hope are sorted from newest to oldest. So you will see the newest bill always on top. You can edit per month. Okay, you can per month just filter your bookings so that you don't have a screen with 500 bookings. So if you want to see your bill, you go to View. You will see the invoice that is being created from this bill. You will see all the details. You see the things, well, that's the official stuff on top of it that needs to be there. This is just all the stuff that we need to make sure that we're in order for the auditing. So you will see the whole total of whatever is there. All the details will be mentioned, and you will see the grand total of the bill also. Now, you can click Print to print the bill, and this will open. A new tab will open and will show you what the bill looks like once it's printed. So this is a PDF version of that same invoice. On the top, on the right side, you will see a download option and a print option that you can use as you like. If you click download, you of course will have to choose where you want to save it, blah, blah, blah. This is all some basic stuff that we really hope you guys know how to get around. Okie dokie. Oh, where are we? So here is your list of bills, blah, blah, blah. You can do everything with it. If there are some things that you don't really understand, just send me an email at gfcgadmin@oroville.org.in. You can also edit the bills, of course. Yeah, that's right. So you get the same screen again, where you can do whatever we did before and edit and change and make things different as much as you like. You just make sure you click Update Bill, and if you change something in the rooms, that you update the room information or save the new information that you added. That's this, and then of course, if you need to delete the bill, you just delete the bill. Are you sure? Yes, we don't need that anymore, and the bill is gone. Hooray, hooray. Okay, now we go to the expenses. So you click on expenses to open the expenses list. You click add a new expense to make a new bill. You are in the create expense field, and the first question is which kind of category is your supplier in? As you know, there are 3 different categories depending on the yearly turnover of the suppliers. So the normal ones are the registered ones. These are registered for GST. These are the big suppliers with a turnover of at least 75 lakhs or above. So click on registered. Oh yeah, well, I can just click on registered. Fill out a supplier name, something. fill out the GST number, which can be two things. It can be a number starting with 33 or a number starting with something else. The first two digits of the GST number are the identification of the state in which the supplier lives or is registered. So 33 means Tamil Nadu. So when we have bills that are bought within Tamil Nadu, we have to split out the GST amount into CGST, which is central GST, and SGST, which is state GST. It's just a 50-50 split, so the system will do it for you. So you can fill out the amount of GST and then automatically everything else will be calculated. Now, of course, you will come to that later. Normally, you start filling out the date and the bill number of whatever it is that the bill is. You select the ledger. This is the category of the purchase that you made. That's needed for accounting purposes. If you don't know what it is, you click on Others and you write in the Notes field what it is that you bought. Saravanan will then put the correct ledger. So you put in you select, you have to select something. You can't save the bill if you didn't select anything. So you put the bill amount, blah, blah, and this is all fine. And you can always specify what it is for clarity, but it doesn't matter much. Then you click Save Expense and your bill will be saved. Now, the other options, of course, are that, you can edit it and then we can go and look at other suppliers. Now, first, you can always edit your bill or delete the bill so you can change all the details that you want. If you want to, if you made a mistake in the number, well, whatever. So if you have a number starting with 34 or something like that, which is Pondicherry, so at that moment, you have bought something in a different state, which means that we have to pay IGST instead of CGST and SGST. I didn't invent it. It's all Modi's fault. So if you have complaints, please turn to him and not to me. Thank you. So you fill out the bill amount, you fill out everything, and you just put the full amount. When you buy something, not in Tamil Nadu, for us Pondicherry is very close by and it's already not Tamil Nadu. So please make sure you tell your supplier clearly that you have that you need an IGST bill and not a CGST SGST bill. I hope that's more or less clear. It's a bit of a complex issue, but it's not that difficult once you get your head around it. So I hope you fill everything out and you save the, you need a bill number, I think, and then you save the expense. And your bill is saved, whatever. It's not even needed. You save the expense, everything is there. Okay, now imagine that we have a different kind of seller. There is the second tier is the composite suppliers. These are medium shops that don't have a turnover of 75 lakhs per year, but are above 20 lakhs per year. So when you have such a supplier, it's a very specific case. These people pay a fixed percentage of 1 or 5%, depending on what they sell, to the government. And this GST is included in the bill. So they are registered. You should be able to see on the board with their name in front of the shop whether they're a composite supplier or something else. So you fill out the GST number, whatever it is. And then you will see that there is no GST mentioned anymore because it's not needed. Your bill will mention that it has been GST included. So this is how it works when you buy from medium shops called composite. Don't ask me why it's called composite sellers. I don't understand that either. But anyway, that's what they call it. So you save the expense and we're there. Now, imagine that you bought from an unregistered seller. These are small shop owners or local village people who are selling things. They are exempt of GST. So the government allows everybody that has less than 20 lakhs per year turnover to just go about their business like before. So you won't be able to put a GST number in there because these people cannot have one. That's why it's called unregistered. They are not registered for GST. So you just put the bill date and the bill number and everything, blah, blah, blah. And then we come to the point where you can put the bill amount and the rest you can leave open. We have to pay GST over the amount that we paid because these people are supposed to sell only to individuals, not to units or other shops or things like that. So we have a GST number, so we need to pay that amount. Now, the amount that we pay here, Saravanan will calculate and fill it out because there are certain categories of items that you buy, like milk, eggs, rice, food, vegetables. These are all exempt of GST, so you don't need to pay anything over it. So Saravanan will look at what it is that you bought and then put the correct amount in the correct field. Depending on whether your unregistered supplier is in Tamil Nadu or in a different state, it will be IGST or CGST. But you can leave all that blank and just write in the notes field, write clearly what it was that you bought so that Saravanan can figure out what the correct amount is. Now, if you have to pay some amount of GST on this, you can get that back. That will be deducted again from the GST that you have to pay over the room income. So it's not a complete loss of money. It's simply something that will be deducted again afterwards. So whatever, Saravanan will take care of these fields of IGST and CGST. You can just leave that blank and save the bill like this. And that's fine. And I think that's about it. I think we passed now all the expenses you get in the expense overview. You see all your bills. And you can select the months, and like the room bills, they are ordered, they are sorted from the latest, the earliest, how do I say that? The youngest in time, or the most in the future, the most remote in the future, till the most remote in the past. Let me put it that way, because you can have bills in room bills anyway. You can have bills in the future. In expense bills, it would be a bit weird because you would have a bill for something you didn't buy yet. But okay, so the youngest bill will be on top and the oldest in date will be on the bottom. Well, I hope that was a little bit clear. It's not a very easy matter. You can always call me and make an appointment if you don't really understand how it now goes. But we hope that this can put most of the people on the way to do whatever they need to do. So yeah, you can edit and delete the bills one by one as you like. Just make sure that whenever you make changes, you click on update expenses. Otherwise, nothing will be saved, of course. Well, that's it from us, and we're going to work on the big system. And I hope you understand it a bit. And thank you so much. See you. Bye-bye.